not to cry while I'm doing it. It's about how she saved my life. I dedicate it to all the daughters in the room and those that we have lost. I would like to recite a poem that I wrote for my daughter. Um, I'll try not to cry while I'm doing it. It's about how she saved my life. I dedicate it to all the daughters in the room and those that we have lost to violence. I was wondering what I'd tell you the day you become a woman, the day you'll no longer need me to tie these pink ribbons in your hair. On that day, I will transform. From the 50-foot tall warrior who slays monsters under your bed and pours paradise into every meal, into this woman that I am. And so I wrote this letter for you. Dear future warriors. Yeah. God was generous the day he blessed me with you. It took 9 months to perfect bliss, and I know there's so much to learn, but I offer you this. Own your body. Let every bend and twist inspire the world. Let all that see recognize, respect, and deserve your deeply feminine curves. You see, I know it's a hard lesson to learn, but remember this. What's in between your hips is just as important as what's in between your lips. Own your anger. Never fear what's left, for you were born with a warrior's soul, with strength as your shield, knowledge as your sword. Even good girls have to fight the revolution. Even good girls have to fight for evolution, and know your life may not be televised, but you will still shine like stars in my eyes. Own your words. Choose them carefully, one by one, like lovers. For a woman is only as good as the word she stands on, and words are only as good as the foundation they are built upon. You see, I know it's hard being born into a fatherless room, conceived in this fatherless womb, but baby, don't make it your tomb. You see, I can't teach you to be a woman like me, because I am only half the woman you will ever be, but I can teach you how to love the moon and stars, how to love words like I love you. But you must choose your own words, write your own stories, tell your own truths, and one day you'll have your own stories to share. But for right now, baby, I just want to hold you close and tie these pink ribbons in your hair. Thank you.
Microphone check 1 2. Can you hear me okay? One in the chat if you can hear me. All right, shout out to K Brown in the house, Mistress Newbie in the house, Fiona in the house, up in the clouds, Phoenix Soul in the house, Why Seeking Knowledge in the house. Phew. Wow. That was a beautiful poem. Phew. That was Kelly Mays. DV survivor.
Our other top story, we're learning more tonight about an important voice for domestic violence victims that has been silenced.
Yeah, Kelly Mays was a well-known survivor of domestic violence who found her voice helping others suffering through abusive relationships at home. The man accused of killing her is Jimmy Lee Brown. Now, he's a rap artist known as Super MC, who appeared in the movie 8 Mile. Our Sean Lay spoke with Kelly's family and colleagues tonight who are coping with her loss.
We're here at the Westland Police Department. Sometime Sunday evening, the local rapper named Super MC, his name is Jimmy Lee Brown, turns himself in here. The charges are that he stabbed his wife to death inside her apartment. Her name, Kelly Mays,
Wow. I'd like to thank Feisty Black Magic for covering this. This is where I found out about this. Ain't this something? So dude from 8 Mile did all that to Kelly Mays. Let me rewind what happened again. So that beautiful poem you heard. Let me play it again. Let me play it again.
I would like to recite a poem that I wrote for my daughter. I'll try not to cry while I'm doing it. It's about how she saved my life. I dedicate it to all the daughters in the room and those that we have lost to violence. I was wondering what I'd tell you the day you become a woman. The day you no longer need me to tie these pink ribbons in your hair. On that day, I will transform. From the 50-foot tall warrior who slays monsters under your bed and pours paradise into every meal, into this woman that I am. And so I wrote this letter for you. Dear future warriors. Yeah. God was generous the day he blessed me with you. It took 9 months to perfect bliss, and I know there's so much to learn, but I offer you this. Own your body. Let every bend and twist inspire the world. Let all that see recognize, respect, and deserve your deeply feminine curves. You see, I know it's a hard lesson to learn, but remember this. What's in between your hips is just as important as what's in between your lips. Own your anger. Never fear what's left, for you were born with a warrior's soul, with strength as your shield, knowledge as your sword. Even good girls have to fight the revolution. Even good girls have to fight for evolution, and know your life may not be televised, but you will still shine like stars in my eyes. Own your words. Choose them carefully, one by one, like lovers. For a woman is only as good as the word she stands on, and words are only as good as the foundation they are built upon. You see, I know it's hard being born into a fatherless room, conceived in this fatherless womb, but baby, don't make it your tomb. You see, I can't teach you to be a woman like me, because I am only half the woman you will ever be, but I can teach you how to love the moon and stars, how to love words like I love you. But you must choose your own words, write your own stories, tell your own truths, and one day you'll have your own stories to share. But for right now, baby, I just want to hold you close and tie these pink ribbons in your hair. Thank you.
Our other top story, we're learning more tonight about an important voice for domestic violence victims that has been silenced.
Yeah, Kelly Mays was a well-known survivor of domestic violence who found
This happened just yesterday.
her voice, helping others suffering through abusive relationships at home. The man accused of killing her is Jimmy Lee Brown. Now, he's a rap artist known as Super MC, who appeared in the movie 8.
These rappers are getting on my nerves. It's weird that this came up. This came up after I actually uploaded the scheduled live stream called Rapper's Delight. Wow. Cannot, no impulse control whatsoever. None. And they want women to be fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive for them, and they can't even control their own temper. That's just crazy. Luckily, the remaining, later on in this video, we will see stories of resilience. And it's funny because those dudes in the black manosphere are talking smack still. But not only giving a pass, but giving respect to absolute monsters. Well, I guess he felt like he had to outdo Diddy, so he did what he did. That's just crazy to me.
Mile. Our Sean Lay spoke with Kelly's family and colleagues tonight who are coping with her loss.
We're here at the Westland Police Department. Sometime Sunday evening, the local rapper named Super MC, his name is Jimmy Lee Brown, turned himself in here. The charges are that he stabbed his wife to death inside her apartment. Her name, Kelly Mays, a well-known domestic violence advocate. She shared that apartment with her daughter, who walked in and found her. Awful loss. But tell me, you walk in the door, and how did this unfold?
I saw her light on. I saw her her body on the floor.
What did you do?
I went inside the room. I saw the towel that was on her hand, and the blankets were wrapped up around her.
Celeste Mays finding the body of her mother, domestic violence survivor and advocate Kelly Mays, in her Westland apartment Sunday night. She had been stabbed multiple times. Celeste called 911. What was the second call?
Second call was to James.
And what happened?
Never answered.
James is Kelly's husband, Jimmy Lee Brown, known as rapper Super MC, a father figure to her.
She's an advocate that is going to be missed by multiple advocacy agencies in the state.
Christine Canal is the CEO of Haven, a complete program to help victims of domestic violence become strong survivors. Kelly Mays was a speaker with Haven, sharing her survival story. Her voice was so very strong.
So, all you manosphere dudes, what's your excuse for this? Oh, you want to play that? You want to play that outlier? I got more. If you want it, check it out. And Rapper's Delight in about a week. No, about a week and a half. Yeah, he did look horrible. May is he looks horrible. May is blah 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 blah. But yeah, this is terrible. Yep, such a beautiful soul taken by a degenerate, unworthy to breathe life's air. I'm telling you, this pimp and between pimp and rap culture, and these men still want women to submit. Submit to what? DV? Fiona, that is correct. So wait, she was an advocate, but this was with a guy that did this to her. Yeah. He's supposedly the guy in 8 Mile or something like that. It just shows you. Just shows you that there's no excuses for this, fellas. Women aren't going to check these men. We are supposed to check these men. And you're not. You know what these men are up to. That's why you guys get so mad at me. You know what your buddies and pals and friends and acquaintances and the guy around the corner is about. And you did nothing. Don't get mad at me. You walked right past him, didn't you? Let me keep playing this.
We want to do to promise, to Kelly's memory is to continue the mission and continue to help awareness for domestic violence and people to continue to know that there's help.
I gotta look after my sister now, who's 14, with my grandma. So it's been like hard.
Did you see it coming? Did they have that kind of explosive relationship or anything?
Not that, no.
For anyone in a domestic violence situation right now, we're going to put all the information from Haven on our website. Click on Detroit.com. You can find it right there. In the meantime, no services scheduled as of yet for Kelly Mays. Brown being held right now without bond. In Westland, Sean.
At least they did that right. Without bond. Thank you.
Local 4.
Brittany Watt.
So how, this is the thing. How is, how is it that men, we want to fight for, social justice or justice rights or no police brutality, and then we do this to our women? Just explain it to me. I don't know. I'm not saying, let me make it clear. It's not right for officers to beat men or kill men. I should say delete men unjustly. No. But how are we supposed to make a strong argument when we're giving these kind of guys a pass? I just thought that for our own benefit. Now, I'm going to go on from there. Okay. This is a much happier story. Listen to this.
Brittany Watts, a 33-year-old Black woman, says she went to the hospital multiple times after bleeding during her pregnancy. Watts returned home where she suffered a miscarriage. Now she's being charged with abuse of a corpse, and she faces up to 1 year in prison and a $2,500 fine.
Now, we've been keeping you updated on the story for the past few weeks, and luckily, the Trumbull County Prosecutor's Office said grand jurors declined to return an indictment for abuse of a corpse against Brittany Watts. So she will
Fantastic.
not be prosecuted any further for having a miscarriage and having to experience not just the trauma of having a miscarriage, but also the trauma of being harassed by what is, I can only describe, an injustice system. So a little bit more on that. A municipal judge had found probable cause to bind over Watts's case after city prosecutors said she miscarried, clogging the toilet and removing some of its contents to an outdoor trash area, then left the house, leaving the 22-week-old fetus lodged in the pipe. So now a quick reminder of the events that preceded this. Watts had visited Mercy Health St. Joseph's Hospital twice in the days leading up to her miscarriage. Her doctor had told her she was carrying a non-viable fetus and to have her labor induced or significant risk of death, according to records of her case. Due to delays and other complications, her attorney said she left each time without being treated. After she miscarried, she tried to go to a hair appointment, but friends sent her to the hospital. A nurse called 911 to report a previously pregnant patient had returned reporting the babies in her backyard in a bucket. Hence why the police investigation was launched. Personally, I think the real investigation should be against the nurse who provided that information to the police and whether or not that was an appropriate phone call to make, and whether or not it was appropriate information to divulge to the police, and whether or not it violated privacy rights of Brittany Watts. But that aside, Ohio's abuse of corpse charge hinges on whether someone has treated a corpse in a way that would, quote, outrage reasonable community sensibilities, whatever the hell that means. However, an autopsy determined the fetus died in utero and identified no recent injuries. So as I already mentioned, the doctors at the hospital told her the fetus was non-viable. At the time of the miscarriage, the fetus was non-viable. It was not in pain, it didn't experience that. It was not alive, it was not a viable fetus. And Watts' lawyer, Tracy Timko, told the judge yesterday, Watts, who is Black, had no criminal record and was being demonized for something that goes on every day. She also argued that Ohio's abuse of a corpse statute lacked clear definitions, including what is meant by human corpse and.
Let me pause it right there. You know what's crazy is that I hope they write some new laws to fix this. I really do, because this was messed up. She shouldn't have had to go through what she went through. You know, the doctor said it was non-viable. It should have been, this should have never have even gone to the courts. All that money they spent on that court case, you would think. I guarantee you'd be surprised what numbers probably popped up. It's amazing sometimes, even the obvious. Here we go.
And what constitutes outrage to reasonable family and community sensibilities. When the judge bound the case over, and as someone who has a law degree, has a lot of experience with judges, I always have to tell people that judges are not as smart as you think they are. And here's a perfect way to exemplify that. He said, there are better scholars than I am to determine the exact legal status of this fetus, corpse, body, birthing tissue, whatever it is. Whatever it is, that is what the judge, those were his official statements on this case. And you know what? I guess 3 years of law school, however many years as an attorney, and then however many more years as a judge don't qualify him to interpret this law. But fortunately, the laymen of the jury were sensible and smart enough to come to the correct decision that this judge.
Yeah, that is crazy that the jury was more sensible than the judge was. I don't see how that even went that far. Wow. Okay. So I was going to save this for next week, but it's going to burn out by then. So check this out. Check this out.
Peace and love, family. Welcome to Night and Day Talk Media. Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, was reportedly shot and killed in Memphis on Saturday.
Yeah, by the way, big thanks to New Diamond for bringing this to us. This is crazy. He passed away yesterday or the day before yesterday too. Everybody's going down. Jeez.
Anthony Big Jook Mims was reportedly shot 10 times in East Memphis. Many are speculating that the murder is in retaliation of Young Dolph events.
Huh? Big Jook dead. Hey, for real? Big Jook. Whoa. Yeah, I see him over there. What is it, birthday?
As one of my producers would say, it sounds like to me the chickens are coming home to roost. Some of them harder than others.
What is it, repast or a birthday party? Oh, both ain't repast. That's what they said.
I don't think it was a shootout. I think it was a one-way thing.
Hell no. Damn, they killed Gotti's brother, man. They killed Gotti's brother, y'all. That's what's going on right here.
What the hell, that police officer say over there?
I don't know what he's saying. They kicked us, man. Y'all see this? We stupid. They kicked, oh, man. They done shot Big Jook. Stupid.
Wow. So basically, Big Jook, I don't know. It could be, it's crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, that's this. See, and that's what I tried to tell when I went into Dee Dee's room. That's what I tried to tell these guys. It's like, look, we got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger problems than worrying about relationships with black women. We can't even control ourselves, but you want a black woman to trust you. That's amazing to me. I mean, these are men that you would say have no reason to be into anything, to be into any mess. I'm going to expound on this, but I'm going to be breaking down this big juke and other instances on our Rappers Delight live stream. I believe it might be next week. It's either next week or the next weekend. It depends on what the producers say, but that's how that's going to go down. Guess what? I got more. Another taste of some rap here, right here.
Free funk, Mistral. Free funk, Mistral.
All right, Mr. Stevens, you can take it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take our comfort break at this point in time. We'll be back in 10 minutes. We're in recess.
Free funk, Mistral. Free funk, Mistral.
So basically, they want to mistrial. They're basically, and you saw them white folks weren't having any of that. It's like, we'll take a break. We're gonna go ahead, get this guy out of here. They didn't say that, but I'm saying that. Let us get this guy out of here, and then get this business taken care of. See, really, I mean, the thing is that. Oh, man, I can't. Let's break into the more of the main story. Here we go. Listen to this part right here.
Sexual abuse in childhood can have long-lasting effects. Some common ones are difficulty in relationships, low self-esteem, problems with body image, or unhelpful attempts at self-repair, such as overeating, excessive drinking, drug use, or promiscuity. Some women can't go for OBGYN checkups because they get triggered by the physical examination. Others have unexplained genital or rectal pain during intercourse, but doctors can't find any physical cause. Some people feel they deserve the abuse because they were flawed in some way. Some abusers play off this by saying, "You'll never find anyone who will love you the way I do." Some adults or older adolescents who are in control of an incestuous relationship may use the idea of being special to ensure the loyalty of the younger person. Not all sexual abuse is physically abusive or painful. Some people are ashamed to admit that they had physical pleasure in such situations. It is
children in our communities globally needs to be protected. And as we already know, they are being targeted. Sick people are out there and they are targeting our children. Today's video is a must watch for everybody.
Okay, let me just pause it right there. Let me know if the volume is right. I'm going to pump it up just a little bit just to make sure. Here we go.
Especially parents. If you're a parent, this video is for you. If you're someone who maybe isn't a parent right now, but you intend.
By the way, let me pause it right now. Football news, football news, football news. Green Bay advances, and I am sorry to all the Cowboy fans out there. Happy Susie Bear in the house. May is a Fat Albert Sisters in the house. Phoenix Soul is in the house. Hibiscus Daffo is in the house. Fiona is in the house. Mistress Newbie's in the house. Why Seeking Knowledge in the house. K Brown in the house. Let's get this. Let's get this right now. Let's get it good. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Phoenix Soul. Remember to hit the like. Remember to hit the like button. Very important. Very important. Remember to hit the like button. Here we go.
Children in our communities globally needs to be protected. And as we already know, they are being targeted. Sick people are out there and they are targeting our children. Today's video is a must watch for everybody, especially parents. If you're a parent, this video is for you. If you're someone who maybe isn't a parent right now, but you intend to be a parent in the future, this video is for you as well. But even if you don't fall under any of those two categories, meaning at the moment you are not a parent and you don't intend to be a parent in the future, this video is also for you because you have relatives, you have neighbors, you have friends and family who have children. Information in this video could help you help a child out there, even if you are not related to this child in any way, shape, or form. Let us not forget that as a society, we are supposed to be looking out for one
Yeah, what
another.
happened to it takes a village, you know what I mean? There should be, and that's the funny thing about our community is like, again, black men, we tend to not have enough good black men that think like, okay, what features do we want to represent to attract women? They keep talking about leveraging protection and all this kind of crap. The provision doesn't work because women, I looked it up, women are more employed than black women are more employed than black men at the moment. So provision's obviously not the problem. So then you have protection. And the problem is that as you saw with some of the clips I just played prior, that's not working out too well either. So what do we black men have to offer our women other than pain and negative metrics? Let me know.
Especially the younger ones around us, because they are the most vulnerable in our society.
Nail bar today. Literally. We came to this place right here in Plano, Texas, called A Nail Bar. You don't see A Nail Bar on the outside, but that's the name of it, A Nail Bar. It's on the front, up top. Brought my daughter, 14 years old, up here with me today to get
Susie Bear in the house.
our nails done. And as we're sitting there, my daughter notices that, and of course, she all of a sudden darts over to me. I'm sitting there. She all of a sudden just darts over to me. I'm enjoying getting my nails done. I come here all the time. She darts over to me and she's like, "Mama, I don't feel comfortable. We need to go." I don't feel comfortable. I need to get out of here. I was like, okay, all right. Now she's 14. She knows what uncomfortable feels like, but at the moment I couldn't quite understand what was going on. And I was like, okay. She was like, "I just want to go sit in the car." I was like, "You got it. Go. You sure?" "I want to go sit in the car." Okay. I go back to the nail seat that I was sitting in because I had moved her away. She wanted to actually sit. She wanted me to actually remove her from the situation when we were talking. So I removed her from the situation, walked over here and talked to her. And she told me, "Mama, I don't feel comfortable here." I'm like, "Okay, she's like, "I want to go sit in the car." Go sit. All right, here's the keys. Go sit in the car. I sit back to get my nails done, not really thinking what was going on, not really thinking. And all of a sudden, my oldest daughter, Tamaja, shout out to Covering. Shout out to Tamaja, my oldest daughter. Shout out to Covering. Because Riley called Tamaja and said, "Hey, something ain't right in there. This is exactly what happened." And what happened is the lady who was doing my baby's nails was recording her doing a live video call, not recording her, doing a live video call with a grown old man while my 14-year-old daughter was sitting in the nail chair trying to get her nails done. Now, I didn't know all this until Maja called me. Thank God for Maja. Maja called me. She said, "Mama, did Maja tell you why she went outside?" I said, "No. Why she go outside?" She said she went outside because she was uncomfortable because the grown man was on the other end of a phone that the nail technician was using while she was getting her nails done. I said, "Wait, hold on. What?" I stood up immediately. I got my daughter on the phone, half a hand figured done on my hands, and I didn't even care about that.
I was like, hold up, wait, what? What did you say? And I asked her to repeat it. I said, hold up, okay. I said, so inside the.
Let me pause that for 1 minute.
If you're not getting back to the child's father, how do you think you can make your asset to the? How do you think you can make your child an asset to the kind of man you want to marry?
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you would want to marry.
I would have to. I feel like I would have to train her to be an asset, as in get her ready for life in general. Put her in classes, make sure she's smart, make sure she's not, put in that time to make her a better person. Correct?
I'm asking,
am I right?
No. The question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can you?
You see, do you notice that that's basically, what is that word? Doggone it. I can't believe it meant. What is that word? What is that word when they train? He's trying to train a woman to allow him to abuse abuse her daughter. And that is just too crazy. Welcome, Miss RV's in the house. Why is seeking knowledge in the house? Grooming, that's it. I'm sorry, I can't. Thank you, grooming. I mean, Kevin is literally what I call remote grooming. A black woman to allow her daughter to get groomed by another man. This is utterly disgusting. I can't get enough of this video. It's disgusting. Why Seeking Knowledge breaks it down like this. They can't be human watching us suffer like this with them and feel absolutely nothing. Only insult and berate. Really, bro? More like bonobo. Boom. I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Here we go. Remember Boosie? Remember Boosie? We're about to. I mean, we have to do something for the little boys too, right? We got to do something for little boys too. Boosie's grooming his little boys.
Love you.
What the?
Suck on your fingers one time. Suck on your fingers one time for me.
What the heck? Shoot. How did this even get on YouTube? I mean, I'll play a little bit more, but what the heck?
Love you.
Mr. Snoopy, there's your role model. There's your role model, ladies and gentlemen. There's your role model. If I don't want to play anymore because who knows what else is going to be shown. Okay, I'm sorry I can't play anymore. But here's what it says. Boosie admits to getting his sons and nephews hookers at 12 years old. I can't even play anymore. But men look up to this guy. They do. They look up to him. Okay. But they want respect.
Come on, man, there you go, Josh.
You is getting a little mustache. That little thing getting deep. He got a little fuzz. My son got a little mustache and everything. I'm proud, dog. Come finish making the Kool-Aid. I ate some good Kool-Aid earlier. I don't know what it. I don't. Yeah, you got all our.
They look up to this dude. Boosie is big time. And Ashy. Why seeking not? You nailed it. Starting him out early to devalue women. Like I said.
Kool-Aid, you gotta have pineapples in your Kool-Aid. Louisiana shit, man. Get right. I say get right.
Welcome to the chat, Rika Reed Gaming. This is Boosie educating his sons on eating, you know what? They're 12 years old.
Yeah, that's Tootie Raw, man. Y'all know y'all been seeing Tootie. Y'all been seeing my kids. Yeah, man. Tootie.
Mr. Snoopy breaks it down like this. I must not be as invested in the Black community. I don't know any of this fool's music. I don't either. And wow, I think that's enough of that. We got Kevin doing weird stuff. We got Boosie doing weird stuff on here. Oh, I'm not done yet. T.I. in the house.
It looks like T.I., the self-proclaimed trouble man, has gotten himself in some trouble again. This time it's with his 18-year-old daughter, Deja.
Wait, Deja, what's up with Deja? She's pretty. She's pretty.
Harris. Oh, and the whole ass internet. On Tuesday, the rapper sent shockwaves through social media when he revealed he goes with Deja to the gynecologist every year to ensure she's still a virgin. While on the Ladies Like Us podcast, Tip opened up about his parenting style and then revealed he and his second to oldest daughter are so close, he goes with her to her OBGYN appointments to make sure her hymen is still intact. So I say, look, doc, she don't ride no horses, she don't ride no bike, she don't play no sports. Just check the hymen, please, and give me back my results expeditiously. I will say, as of her 18th birthday, her hymen is still intact, Tip said. As previously reported, folks...
That's creepy.
...on Twitter gave him a good old dragon for trying to police his daughter's body, and it seems Deja also got in on the fun. She hopped on Twitter, caught wind of the conversation, and started liking tweets that she agrees with. One tweet she liked said, "This is disgusting, possessive, and controlling." Woo! Another read, "Give me my results. First of all, MF, those are her results. Like WTF."
Yeah, I hear that. Damn, this is, you see how, man, yeah. Nasty, yup, yup, Mr. Snoopy, Nasty B, yup, he is. I mean, what value I'm trying to, look, fellas, I'm telling you, if you want to be successful with women, don't think like your role models. Okay, let's start there. Susie Bear says this. That's why I always respond whenever Black men say single mothers, I'll let them know that they passed on their depravity to their sons, even when present. Bars. Oh, they passed on their depravity to their sons, even when present. Exactly. They keep on saying, yeah, you need fathers in the house. You need fathers in the house. Not if they're demented. Yeah, I mean, Miss RV, I'm telling you, we have been having some weird things going on. in the world. Phoenix Soul breaks. Rico Reed Gaming says this. Phoenix Soul, thank you. It's funny, I don't know these people. Rico Reed Gaming, you are not missing anything. Okay? Do not feel bad about not knowing who he is because you're probably better off. Wow, she is going to be a virgin at 30 plus by May's Fat Albert's sister. And who knows? I don't know. Maybe as weird as these dudes are, maybe he's saving her for him. I am not kidding. Miss RV, you know what I mean? These guys, you saw our last live stream. And you know, on Friday, yeah, it's like that. Fathers getting with their own kids. Oh man. Oh no. Guess what? Anyways, let me read this. Susie Bear says this. It's always the ugly, bitter Black men who were always lacking access to women, so find any way to degrade them whenever they can. Exactly. Okay. Men who have no resources apparently attach their manhood to the display of testosterone and peen spread, weak, bottom falling out, and they can't take it. Bars. Man, she can't.
She also liked this one. This is just beyond possessive. T.I. hasn't responded.
I'm telling you, there's something weird gonna happen.
Any of the backlash as of yet. He's currently on vacation with his wife, Tiny Harris, and their kids, Eris, Major, King, and Zanique.
I wonder if he took a side chick with him.
Podcast hosts Nazanin Mondi and Nadia Moham have issued an apology for laughing during Tip's remarks and have deleted the episode. We think Tip needs to clear this up expeditiously. Let us know what you think in the comments below. For HipHollywood.com, I'm Jasmine Simpkins.
That is just crazy. This is at least here's one of the manosphere leaders talking about it.
Surprisingly, Kanye West stood up for himself. He responded. He said, "Don't speak on me, Lil Boosie. Speak to me." He said, "Yeah, little nerd."
Wait, let me see what's saying.
Surprisingly, Kanye West stood up for himself. He responded. He said, "Don't speak on me, Lil Boosie. Speak to me." He said, "Yeah, little nerd."
Okay, this one I can't play. But basically what's going on is that easy for me to say, okay, so a guy who admitted or brags about the M wording and R wording Caucasian women and men now wants to get moral and talk about what Tip is doing, which was disgusting, but it's kind of weird that after he's made his cat call, you know, talking about M and R, but I guess that's what the manosphere loves. You know, they love men who do that. So I'm going to go past that for now because I want to make sure we get the main things in here. Oh, this is going to be rough. Here we go.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Tonight, a New Jersey woman shares her shocking story. But let's start here. In 1996, when the Fugees, featuring Lauryn Hill, released this hit and their award-winning music video to Killing Me Softly.
Oh. Okay, let me fast forward that. I am trying to make sure I go through here with no clips. No clips. Let me use this one. It's the same guy right here. Here we go. Okay. No. Here we go.
It's with his own 6 daughters.
Okay. Here we go.
6 of his own daughters.
Right there.
Fuji's director, Charles McGill, was
Okay, so it's Charles McGill, Fuji's director, for, their videos. But before I get into this, let me break this down from Susie Bear. Why is he so obsessed with her virginity when he is a sexual deviant? Bars. She's going to end up with a man just like her father. Bars. Or her father. Susie, he might just get with her own. We've seen some weird stuff in the last couple of days. It seems like it's getting to the point where fatherhood does not mean that a young lady is going to be protected from creeps, especially when their father is one. Susie Bear goes on to say, it's called karma, even though I don't be in karma. It's called leading by example. Bars. Big Cap slipped through. Charleston is not the manosphere. Yes, he is. He stands for something else, but I can't get it. You put all men in the manosphere. Oh, yeah, he's in the manosphere. I'm sorry, Big Cap, I got you on this one. He's on every manosphere channel. Manosphere men love him. He's manosphere. He talks manosphere rhetoric. He's manosphere. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you want to, I don't know. You have a right to your opinion. We know that, right? He's manosphere AF, though. He has all the metrics. Charleston White is definitely manosphere, but I do respect your opinion.
convicted of raping and molesting and impregnating 6 of his own daughters.
6 of his own daughters. The weird thing is that it must have been a strong urge for him to do that much damage. It must be a strong urge to destroy not only all his own blood, but to his own career. It's amazing. I tell you what, Big Cap, what we'll do is we'll have a live stream on if Charleston White is manosphere. But I know I'm going to win the live stream. That's just going to be easy. It's easy to beat manosphere dudes anyway. So, but yeah, I will show you how he's manosphere in so many ways. I know that you're trying to say that, no, let me focus on this right here. So yes, this man, this is why I would not be surprised if Tip started getting with his own child. I just don't. I just wouldn't be surprised. There's something wrong, something broken in our community that we as men, we need to repair quickly, but are not doing that because we're spending too much time complaining about women. So we're not worried about monsters like this or becoming monsters like this. We're worried about whether how to ask a woman out on a date, or why she's not giving it up quick enough. And if she does, then you call her a 304. If she stands up for herself, then she's not being submissive. Big Cap is capping. Big Cap is capping. Welcome, Darnell. Darnell in the house. Let me keep going. Here we go.
He had 6 kids with his own 6 daughters. 2 of the children died because the bloodlines were so close. The babies were born deformed. So 2 of the babies died at birth from being deformed. And the 4 children that survived have serious medical problems because that's what incest does. When you have two blood relatives have a child together, this is going to cause medical problems for that child that's born. That's why incest should be illegal in every country in the world, because it creates something that shouldn't be.
Bars.
Now, this man is getting 50 years in prison for raping and molesting his own children. Now, the mother allowed this to go on for more than 20 years.
A super mammy. That is what you call a super mammy. And I would not say each and every, mammy would allow this, but they're the ones that are probably going to do it because because of this. I don't need to explain it. I need to show it here.
That's not something.
This is it. Here we go.
Well behaved, smart, taking care. Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going?
Good, great idea, Darnell. Darnell, why don't we do this? Why don't we have a debate? You and Cap. Let me know if you guys are down for it. If not, it's all right.
To come first, or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal. That's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married. You got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have two.
Uh-oh, folks, here it comes.
2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and says, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because
Tevin, that's not true. Big Cat. A lot of women on Torch's panel have a lot of vitriol towards all Black men because of the actions of some. Let's define some. Let's argue some. Tevin, while I'm playing this video of Kevin trying to groom a Black woman to allow her children to be groomed, why don't you put in the percentage you believe of Black men that are negative in our community? Let me know what that number is. Let me know what you think it is. Here we go. Let's play Kevin again. I'm glad you guys are here. Kevin Samuels fans are always welcome. Let's play. Let me play what the old KS is talking about here. Remember now, Kevin is 0-2 for successful marriages.
to come first.
But that's the funny thing. Kevin Samuels is 0-2 for successful marriages, but he's trying to give this woman, who is definitely beautiful, by the way, advice on what to do if she gets married.
Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal. That's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married. You got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and says, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
You guys hear that? You guys hear that? Let me play it one more time.
Home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
Why would that person even be close to the bathroom to see her? That would be the thing. You have to defend your seed. You have to defend your child.
But you also remember you got 2 of my kids.
Isn't that interesting how she did the total number of children would have been 3 in this scenario, right? But he said 2 of my kids, not our kids, right? So what he's saying is that since I made you have 2 of my children, which are really our children, I have leverage on you, so you're going to let me do whatever you want to your kids. Even if that one child is not is not really mine. That's what he's saying. It reminds me of something he said before, a very wise thing he said before. It was something like this.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
So apparently he wants women to show him their children.
The relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
Why would that person even be close to the bathroom to see her?
Ding, 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 ding.
That would be the thing. You have to defend your seed. You have to defend your child.
But you also remember you got 2 of my kids. So that means
notice how he said it like he really truly owned 100% of the kids. And you know what the funny part about this is? This is the funny part. He didn't even pay for his own children. He barely, before he passed, he just barely got in the note. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? But they love them some Kevin. Don't you guys love your Kevin? Don't you love your Kevin? So, fellas, let me put this in a scenario that you might be able to grab before we move forward here. Let's say things don't work out with you and your wife or your girlfriend or whoever that had your child, your little girl, right? Your wife moves on, she gets married to somebody like Kevin who wants to look at your daughter. How's that going to make you feel? Are you going to be Kevin, a full Kevinite then? You going to be a Kevin Samuelite then? Let me play it. Let me play what he said.
To come first, or is it?
See, remember now. Are you going to tell your daughter, hey, you better let him look at you because you know he comes first. Men come first. Remember? Yeah. See, you see how now you see where I'm coming from, huh?
If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin looked at me getting out of the shower.
I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen, y'all. See, that's what I found. Hey, at least Hustler and Muscular showed up. Tevin and Big Cap, they ran out of here because I made a point. And I think it's a point that cannot be argued. Which is this. Let's say you had a daughter and you and your wife broke up or something like that, right? She moves on, you move on. Your daughter's 15. Oh, you're about to hear the point now. Let's say your daughter is 15, right? Your daughter's 15, right? And, she's under the care of another man now because you guys moved on. And he's looking at her in the shower. Okay, let me know if you're with me on this now. I'm giving you the scenario. You don't have to understand. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but just know that you know what I'm saying, right? Okay. Let me know if you agree with Kevin says if this is your daughter that he is talking about. Here we go.
To come first, or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and says, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
Let me pause it right there. If your daughter came up to you, theoretically, right, and told you this, right, what would you do? What would you do? I'll wait. I'll wait. Correct. Your daughter is now in the care of another grown man because you and your wife or you and your girlfriend broke up and she moved on and you moved on. Correct. And he says this. Let me play it one more time because I understand you just got here and you need to catch up a little bit. Here we go. Listen.
Come first, or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal. That's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married. You got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 2 kids together, mm-hmm. and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and says, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting.
Okay, so Kevin touched and looked at your daughter. Okay, because he's now running the household. He's running the household with your ex-wife or girlfriend, right? But you had a daughter with your ex-wife or girlfriend, and she, she's grown up a little bit. She's in her, she's 15. Are you cool with that or not? Because that's what he's saying. All right, take your time. This is difficult. There's at least most of the Manosphere heroes right here. So let me know what you would do. Are you going to say, oh, you must be lying? Are you going to tell your daughter, oh, you must be lying? Kevin didn't look at you? Even though she describes everything accurately? Looks like I ran him off too. Wait. Oh, he came back. Here we go. Okay. Hustler says this. I'm going to try to say it how he talks. Any grown man who looks at my daughter in that kind of manner is getting his ass whooped. What's going on here? I hope I got that right, Hustler. Yeah, Hustler literally has a muscular voice, which is interesting. But no, let's make this clear. So you don't agree with Kevin Samuels, is that correct? Let me know. We're doing some good work here. Yes, Feisty Black Tina nails it. Yeah, they would accuse the daughter of being fast. Let's see what it says here. Okay, Hustler says this. Why would my ex-wife allow just any man to come around my underage daughter? That's not what we're talking about, though. Kevin's not just any man. He's the man. He's running the household you used to run because you both moved on. I'm not mocking you. I'm not mocking you. So I hope I'm making a point here because this is really important I'm trying to make men in the manosphere understand too that this is the rhetoric this guy was talking about. Listen again, because it doesn't seem to be, I know I'm not getting any answers, and that's okay. Sometimes no answer is the right answer. Listen again.
To come first, or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal. That's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married. You got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 2 kids together, mm-hmm. and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and says, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something.
Okay, let me pause it right there. First of all, Hustler, by the way, excellent moderation the other day. You did a great job. You did. Believe it or not, you did. You did an excellent job. You made sure, things quieted down and everything like that. But I still need to know, Big Cap, you can answer too. Yeah. Okay, your answer was up top, but I skipped it. Let's see what it said here. Big Cap. I don't, okay. Okay, was it Tevin? I'm not, they got it. And Darnell, I'm good. I'm going on stage. This show is for the ladies, so I'm being on stage wouldn't be a waste of time. Okay, that's not it. Big Cap, Rips Kevin saying, so Rip Kevin saying, is that it? Is that your reply? Rest in peace, Kevin St. Samuels. Wait, no. Wait, okay, this one, is this it? Nigga, I'm still here just because I won't incriminate myself. That's you just did by saying that on here for saying what I would do to Kevin for touching my daughter doesn't mean I would let him and like what he did. Okay, at least you're getting there. But see, that's the thing. Okay, so at least Big Cap, we caught up there. Okay, so we caught up there. Okay, so Big Cap, this is the thing. This could very well happen. Who knows? This might be your pal, your buddy, but in this case, it's Kevin. It's Saint Kevin, and you heard what he said. So let me make it clear. Do you disagree with Kevin on the point he is trying to make in this video? That is where we're trying to get to. Welcome, New Diamond. Welcome, Hustler in Muscular. Yeah, I'll act right in there. Okay, so I didn't skip your answer. I got your answer. So basically, you didn't. I need a direct answer, though. You guys aren't being direct. I see what you're saying, and I'm glad that if we got to Kevin's scenario, but what you're telling me that you're still calling Kevin Saint Kevin, but then his scenario, you're not feeling that. Let's play it one more time.
First. Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we have 2 kids together.
Mm-hmm.
And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
Why would that person need to be close to the bathroom to see her?
So hypothetically, Susie Bear says this, Black men, for the most part, don't think that it is up to themselves to control their sexual degeneracy. They feel like everybody else should control them. Bars. Her odds are real bad when 90% of you are dusty. Oh, man. The manosphere see women as a piece of meat. I mean, basically, that's what I got. That's the convinced. When I was in Dee Dee's room, that's what I got convinced of. They really, oh man, y'all were dogging those girls in there. Every time I look I swear, I only go over there so many times. Once every other month at the most, if that, because y'all be tripping in there. But hey, to each his own. May is Fab Albert Scissors says this. We're not giving up the treats any longer. You guys have to go overseas. Hustler replies, May up you. Okay. Yeah. Yep. let me catch up here. Okay. So Big Cap, we're gonna move on after this because I don't want to hold up the main show. But Spicy says this: they love kittens. Yep, Daddy Samuels, because he really wants to smash their BKs to smithereens like he did the glitch in the bed. Oh man,
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't.
Oh man, I had to just play that. Oh, hey, look, fellas. I mean, you can't get mad at the ladies. You cannot get mad at the ladies. You saw the way y'all was talking about me when I was on them red pill channels. You weren't exactly saying sir or Mr. DJ Torch, were you? No. So, hey, it's all good. It didn't bother me. It's all good. Anyway, let me keep going here. So basically, okay, DJ, as a man with kids, I will give and take a life. Stop playing with grown, bro. What? Okay. Well, as a man with kids, I will give whatever. Okay. Stop playing, bro. Okay. Basically, what? You will take a life. Take a life. Stop. Okay. Give or take a life. Okay. I get what you're saying. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm going to move on from the Kevin clip because I think I made my point. I didn't get any answers, but I think I made my point. Quita is in the house. Phoenix Soul in the house. Darnell's in the house. Why Seeking Knowledge in the house. Mr. Snoopy in the house. Susie Bear in the house. The fellas are in the house. Hustler Muscler in the house. Hustler, what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is that basically a lot of men are, no, if you don't understand, you don't understand. I mean, I can't explain it blank like that. I mean, I can't bore my crowd. We both know what I'm getting at, and I got there. So we're gonna keep going. Okay, that doesn't sound like a manosphere Reddit. It sounds like Sirius Nation. All right, let me keep this going. Okay. So we gone? Okay, so we did the incest dad that impregnated 6 of his daughters. Oh, you guys always ask. I'm going to play this clip because you guys always ask, why didn't you tell somebody about, what you were going through as a child and all that kind of stuff? I'm going to let this young lady explain it to you.
What a terrible predicament to put a young girl in, starting at age 8, and must have been so confusing for you.
It was very confusing. I didn't know. I was doing what my parents told me to do. And I was obedient. I did everything that my parents said.
She was fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive, even as a daughter. See what it got her.
Around the house with taking care of my siblings, and this was one extra thing. So initially, it didn't really register as something that was wrong.
Felt like a chore almost?
Yeah, it felt like a chore, exactly. And we wasn't allowed to watch regular television, mostly just educational TV. So there wasn't really a comparison. I didn't really have anybody to ask, well, is this what your family is doing? This is what your dad does? And
so you had absolutely no frame of reference.
Not really.
I don't think her father molested.
Wait. Big Cap says this, Darnell, you would make the same amount of money as if you bash women. What did Darnell say? DJ Torchek, as Saint Kevin, yeah. Do people really believe he is a saint? Yes, they do. I should create the church. Kevin Samuels, how much money do you think I would make? Oh man, yeah. Whatever these women bashers make, that's how much you would make, pretty much.
That's her. Even if he
Okay, everybody, we're going into the main meat of the story. We touched on this last on Friday, but we are getting into it deep tonight. Here we go.
molested her, she had all rights, all many years to get up and do something about it or say something.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys
So that is what we call a mammy. Let's keep going.
doing? Now, I want to talk to you guys about a story. Now, this is an old story, but I wanted to bring it back to y'all attention. Y'all remember that African girl? She's a Liberian girl, and y'all know I'm going to keep talking about these Liberian stories now. I'm going to mix it, though, so y'all can hear other stories and different other things. However, I want to address this situation. Did y'all hear about that Liberian girl?
Gold Reflection in the house, Quita Ward in the house, New Diamond in the house, Phoenix Soul in the house, Big Cap in the house, Susie Bear in the house. Everybody up in here. Let's keep it going. Foxy Black. Tina in the house.
Who cut off her father's private parts because basically he was like molesting her and R-ing her entire life. Oh my God, y'all. This story, I remember it when it happened. I was like a little girl. I vaguely remember it. Like my mother was talking about it the other day and I was like, man.
By the way, this is brought to you by Demand Mo Accelerated. Here we go.
I should break this down. So I'm breaking it down to you guys. This girl literally cut off her father peen after years and years of molestation and foul treatment and just him just violating this girl. She just got sick of it and cut off his peen. Now, I'm going to break the story down to you guys. I'm going to tell you guys what truly happened, but I remember this story and I'm like, man, I remember this. This girl really did that. And since we've been talking kind of about that type of situation, I was like, man, let's revisit this story and let me tell them what really happened. This girl was even on Snap. I'm telling you, this was a big deal. So this is what happened to the girl. Now, the girl name is Bridget Harris. She is a Queens, New York woman, and she committed suffocation and castration, murder of her Liberian-born father, Eric Goodrich, in her Rockaway, Queens apartment. Both Bridget and her sister Carolyn had claimed that they had been sexually raped and sexually abused by their father since they were little girls. And due to the abuse allegations, Bridget received an outpouring of support, including the U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer and the New York Senator Dianne Savino and Eric Adams. And Bridget's trial was very publicized back then. It was like a really big deal. She was sentenced to 5 to 15 years in prison for killing her father in this way. Now, Bridget's background story is truly tragic. Now, Bridget was born June 6, 1981. When she was 2 years old, she was abandoned by...
Good point, Miss RV. Hey, come on, let's get the likes up. That means you too. That means you too, Big Cap. Hustler and Muscler, come on. Let me get the like. Help me get the likes up. Help me get the likes up now. Come on now. Let's get them up. Here we go.
By her mother in their Park Hill, New York apartment. Now, if you know Park Hill, you from Staten Island like me, I'm from Staten Island. So they from Park Hill, y'all. She went to go live with her father on Long Island, and her father later moved back to his home country, aka Liberia. And Bridget moved around relatives, and you already know how that is. Your relatives don't necessarily treat you right. They treat you sometimes worse than strangers. So she was physically abused by her grandmother. Now, she said in court that her grandma hit them with sticks. Bridget also claimed that she was sexually abused by her cousin. She said her cousin forced her to perform oral sex on him.
Damn. What a hard life, man.
Like horrible. She said during a family trip to Liberia, Bridget confronted her mother and her dad about the abuse from her relatives, and her father denied the allegations, claiming that she was crazy. By the age of 17, Bridget became independent and got her own place. When she was 26, Bridget had been living on her own.
So, fellas, this is the thing. Every time you come up with this, well, women got to do better and all this kind of stuff and all this kind of stuff, and why is she acting like that? Have you ever thought that maybe it's because she had a shitty father? Do you ever think about that at all? I mean, didn't that come to your, cross your mind? I'm not saying that it should be an excuse or anything, but I'm just saying I don't think it has crossed your mind. So when you guys are over there complaining about women and everything like that, at the very least, the point I was trying to make in the live streams that I go to, is not just these, but the other live streams, is how good are we doing as men? How are we good role models to women? Because you can still be a role model to women, okay, and little girls. You can still be a role model to women and little girls. But if you're choosing dudes like St. Kevin, okay, or T.I., or Lil Boosie as your role models, there's not a whole lot to work with there. That is the point I've been trying to make. There ain't nothing to work with. There ain't nothing to work with. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
For years and worked as an airport security guard. Now, this is where things went south. After years of not seeing her father and not having any connections to her father, her sister Carolyn called her. Her sister called her and was like, hey, dad wants to have a conversation with you. He wants to talk to you. You should definitely meet with him. See if you could bury the issues. See if you can let go of the problems of the past and everything that happened, She said, let's try to make peace and get over some things that happened in our childhood. So Bridget agreed to see her father, went to have the conversation with her father, saw one of her nieces sitting on her father's lap. And that just did something to her, PTSD. It hit her like, what in the world? And she immediately started an argument with her father. She spoke to Carolyn about her father taking her nieces because, the deal was her father was supposed to take her nieces back to Liberia with him, like, he had done with them as children. But Bridget was like, no, you know what we went through as children. Why would you allow this man to take your children? So she was really upset about this, got into it with her father.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all for being upset. Shoot. Feisty Black Tina breaks it down like this. They don't care what Black women have been through so very much so. They lack empathy, very sociopathic behavior. They only concerned with getting catered to and treating women like slaves and their punching bags. Bars.
Father about this, and it became a big thing. And this is when I think things went left for her, because on July 28, 2007, she decided to see her father alone in her Rockaway apartment to reason with him and to try to convince him not to take the girls. Now, Bridget asked for the father to get help. After the conversation became heated, Bridget handcuffed her father and gagged him, with a towel to prevent him from screaming. Then, using a scalpel, she removed her father's private parts, his penis. And then she called 911 and let them know that he was still alive and needed help. She told the operator that she was on her way to the police station, but she never showed up. And instead, she called her sister and told her sister what she had done. Now, Carolyn, Bridget's sister, advised her to come to her home instead. Her sister advised her to come to her home instead of going to the police. And then when she arrived, her sister called an ambulance after seeing her with the scalpel in her hand and still in shock. they decided to check her into the Richmond University Medical Psychotic Ward. And then Bridget's sister, Carolyn, hired defense attorney lawyer Arthur L. Abdullah to represent Bridget. After meeting the lawyer, Bridget revealed her terrible secret. She told the lawyer details about how her father sexually abused her throughout her childhood. Now, she claimed he had told her how in some African cultures, fathers had to take their daughter's virginity. She said how he told her that he was doing
What?
because he loved her. He said that that's how fathers show love to their daughters. Now, Bridget.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he?
Lawyer Arthur L. Abdullah to represent Bridget. After meeting the lawyer, Bridget revealed her terrible secret. She told the lawyer details about how her father sexually abused her throughout her childhood. Now, she claimed he had told her how in some African cultures, fathers had to take their daughter's virginity. She said how he told her that he was doing it because he loved her. He said that that's how fathers show love to their daughters. Now, Bridget said Carolyn also decided to break the silence and finally admitted that she too was sexually abused by their father as well, but she was too afraid to speak up. She set up a website called survivorbridget.com to raise money for her sister's legal defense. Now, what happened after that was, after being charged from the psychiatric ward on August 16, 2007, Bridget was charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter and was held at Rikers Island. Now, Bridget said she had not intended to kill her father. In the statement that she made, she said, "I felt that I had to stop him and take away his weapon." Now, let's be clear. She did her research. There has been different cases in the past where people lived after this type of situation happened to them. So it's uncommon for people to really die. And what really killed him was the fact that he choked. It wasn't the fact that she cut off his private areas. That's not what killed him. What killed him was the fact that he choked in that process and everything. Now, 2 years after the whole situation happened, I would say September 2009, she testified in her own defense that she had researched the 1993 castration case of London Robert. Prosecutor.
Dang, that's a trip. Quita Ward breaks it down like this. He sounds like the Fuji's manager. He was doing the same thing and had kids with his own children. I think grandchildren too. Yeah, Quita, you nailed it. We just went over that a little while ago. That was crazy. I mean, Miss RV breaks it down like this. She even printed out info about how incest and sexual A affects you as an individual, but he didn't want to hear it. So off with the wee. And I feel nothing for him. Yep, yep. So, but these males are leaders, right? SMH, leading into a pits of hell. Yeah. You know what's funny is that I do appreciate the red pill guests that we had come through, but they can't handle us. Not because we are mean, rude, or anything like that. It's not that. It's that we get deep. When I asked them how they felt about if Kevin, did exactly what he was going to do, said he was going to do in the video that he was talking about, they couldn't handle it. I got no answers. Okay. I got side answers, but no yes or no answers. Let's just put it that way. Answers that you could deduce to be yes, but at the same time, sort of kind of wasn't direct. But that's how it goes. And the weird thing is that those gentlemen, hey, they're welcome back anytime, believe it or not. Welcome back anytime. But what's weird is if you were to look at, the thing is they like to say that our subscribers are mean to them. But if I was to take a screenshot of their chat room when I'm in there defending Black women versus this chat room, okay, maybe then they would understand I hate to say it, fellas, but you did prove me a point. The ladies in here were a lot more civilized than the behavior I have received when debating on red pill channels. I can go to any of the videos, live streams, if they're still up, on any of these channels, and you won't believe how vulgar and disgusting they get. They call me every freaking name in the book, on panel and in the chat. But these are the same guys who want to complain about you. I've been called the F word, the B word, the N word. On these other channels, Black Manosphere channels, the MF word, any form of disrespect I have heard from these guys. And shout out to you ladies, because you showed them that you're not about that. In fact, you were quite friendly to them. I don't get that when I travel. Even when I go to Razor Razor's room, I don't get that. And I understand it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with them. It has to do with them. Everywhere I go, they acting like I'm lucky if they just lie about something. But most of the time it's some vulgar epithet here and there. Guaranteed. Even when I'm getting along with the host. Big Cap says this, bruh, and you know, and you would see I've been the same across the board. I stand for me and my household since day one. I remember you've been around, Big Cap. I mean, you were one of my first, you were one of my day ones, as they call it. So I understand that, but you've seen it though. I know you've seen it. I know you've seen it though. See, I'm not talking to you or about you, because remember back in the day when you used to say, if it don't fly, what is it? If it don't apply, let it fly. Remember that? So it's the same thing. But you've seen how your fellow red pillars, I'm not saying you're red pill, but I'm just going to say it, because these days people be saying they're not red pill and be red pill, and then be saying they red pill and not be red pill. But let's just say you've seen other red pillars say some very nice things to me and about me. I'm putting that in asterisks, by the way. I'm just saying. And there's nothing to be said. I'll give Hustler a little bit. At least he's somewhat neutral most of the time. But my point I wanted to make is this, is that how can these guys complain about my crew, but when I go over to your channels, there's nothing but vulgar epithets, insults, threats all day, every day. And it's ironic, then, and you guys want to label this channel, oh yeah, they're so rude over there. Let me do some screenshots. I should do some screenshots. I could take a screenshot of what's on my screen right now, take it and compare it to a screenshot of Dee Dee's channel, Jay's channel, or something like that. Or even Razor's channel. And me and Razor we cool. Me and Razor are cool. But if you look in that chat, and that's what I'm talking about. Ladies, that's the problem. These men have no impulse control. I'm not cussing them out. When I go to these channels, I wait my turn, I speak. I wait my turn, I speak. Might debate, might interrupt somebody by accident. But I guarantee you check this out. Ladies, there are words they use in those channels, including Dee Dee's channel, I don't even allow here. You would be shocked. So if somebody starts using that black male bashing crap, I tell you what, I'm going to take some clips of what you guys say when I'm on panel. And I'm going to compare it to mine here. And we'll see who's doing the bashing. I'm glad I could make that clear. Sorry to go for the sidebar. Here we go.
Maintained that Bridget had intentionally handcuffed her father, stuffed a towel down his throat, then used a scalp to remove his penis. She threw the penis under her boardwalk. And then Bridget argued that her motive for killing was not revenge, but the act to prevent, her father from taking his granddaughters to Liberia and molesting them. Because in Africa, that's like a common thing. In Liberia specifically, it's like a common thing. A lot of Liberian girls, especially young ladies, have been getting molested in Liberia. It's been so tragic. It's been such a tragedy for this to happen and keep happening in my country. And on September 30th, 2009, Bridget's jury found her guilty of the lesser charge, which included defense of the second-degree manslaughter. And one juror reported that none of us felt like she deserved to get any murder.
Believe it or not, the jurors were really cool. I mean, they had to, by law, they had to convict, but they did not want her to go. They wanted the least sentencing as possible because they understood what's going down. Welcome El Viero Pues in the house. New Diamonds in the house. Quita Ward's in the house. Susie Bear's in the house. Everybody, Big Cap's in the house. Why Seeking Knowledge in the house. Miss RV is in the house. Mistress Newbie. If you're in the house, put something in the chat. I'm going to keep it going. I can't scroll up for too far.
Murder charges or anything.
Oh, let me break this out. Have you guys heard of the blue people in the Ozark Mountains? They made so many babies with family that it slightly changed their skin color. Weird. Wow.
So we decided on a second-degree manslaughter. We felt like that was fair. Now the jurors all wrote letters to the Supreme Court trying to get her charges dismissed and shortened. However, that did not do anything. The Supreme Court did not budge. Now, I think that at that time, that was completely common because it was around that time, I believe, that the Central Park 5, all of that was going on, where the police system was kind of a little bit corrupt. However, they just let this young lady do that time. They gave her the maximum of 5 to 15 years in prison after serving 5 years already. She was released on parole on August 13, 2012. And Bridget stated that, I don't think killing him was the answer. I can't believe I actually did it. The only thing I had on my mind was, to save my nieces and to be their advocate and help them out. Now let's talk about Bridget's childhood. Bridget never really had a childhood. You know, she was abandoned by her mom in Park Hill, you know, Staten Island. Whoop whoop. I love Staten Island. But she was abandoned by her mother, and she was abandoned at the age of 2. You know,
Dang, abandoned at the age of 2. Man. Susie Bear breaks it down like this. This is about El Vieto Perez chat. And it's this. Yes, I've heard about the blue people. They tried to cover it up by saying it was effects of the colloidal silver. Oh my God. Shout out to Phoenix Soul. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I saw the entire channel dedicated to roasting you, DJ Church, and it was clear little Brody only learned to read enough to be able to navigate bashing you. Yeah, it's interesting. I got some weird ops out there, you know. Most of which have, you know, let's just say criminal records. So, hey, I ain't trying to be friends with them anyway, so they can whatever. Anyway, let's keep going.
she suffered between homes. She had a lot of abusive relatives on Staten Island, and I definitely understand that. Went to Long Island, and then went to Rhode Island, and she was repeatedly molested, raped, beaten by her father. And he was actually supposed to be protecting his daughter, you know, guarding her from these different things. And it wasn't until she had killed her father, and the worst thing in the world, that she actually got the help that she needed. When I tell you guys, my mother be knowing things, that woman be knowing things. She told me about this case, and I was like, no, this isn't true. She's like, yeah, this happened in New York, because we're from Staten Island. She said that this was a big thing back then in Staten Island, that they was talking about.
Oh, yeah. Phoenix Soul says this. So Phoenix Soul, I don't know what that is, but that's hilarious. Not knowing how to read, however, wanting to roast someone.
This guy had did to his daughters, and how his daughters had killed him. I was like, no. Come to find out, mama was right. This happened. And you know what stuck out to me? They said that when she used to get beaten by her family members, she would have wounds and like cuts and stuff. What they would do is they would take pepper and rub it in her cut wounds. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Dang, that's crazy. Elvieto Perez says this. I used to be in a traveling passport bro group, and I was kicked out because I had opposing views. So basically, they don't want anyone in their chats. That's a yes. That's not a yes man. Correct. I agree with that. Let me go ahead and drop the chat here. I mean, yeah, drop the link. Drop the link for a minute. But I just found that was really funny because they actually complain about how this is black male bashing and everything like that. But if you were to compare the level of vitriol and hate that happens in these red pill spaces compared to what we do here, they're only seeing it as black male bashing because they don't like what's being said. That's it. It's not about any vitriol or anything like that. We don't do that here. So they're just bitter. Some of them are bitter bandits. Here we go.
Like, I had an aunt that did that to her children. I'm talking about, I had an aunt, a Liberian aunt. Literally, she would fill the tub up with water and put pepper in it. I'm talking about habanero peppers, hot peppers. And when you misbehave or you do something, and you had to sit there without no clothes on, her girls, sit there, and you would be burning in pepper. First, you got beat first, got your butt whooped, and then you would sit in that pepper, and they would say, yep, you're going to get peppered if you do this. Yes, you're going to get peppered when you do that. And that used to scare us as kids. But that was like the extreme. I remember hearing her doing that. She never did it to me because I was always best behaved, you know, woo, woo, woo. But she did it to her own children, and it was like a big thing. You got peppered, and Lord knows the psychological effects that would have on you. But that's not uncommon. That is not uncommon. I know.
Oh, wait. Yeah. No, Big Cap. There's a reason, very good reason why you lost your wrench, but we still welcomed you when we didn't block you. So, I mean, there was a good reason. Hey, look, we have some ladies who lost wrenches because some things got out of hand. So It's just how we roll here. We're a little bit, on a different level. That's all. So, I wouldn't feel bad. Oh, that's why. Big Cap. You know why it was? Somebody said something to you that you thought was, I guess, enough to kick them out, to block them, and that wasn't. That doesn't. I mean, it wasn't like they were insulting you or anything, because I went over the tape. And believe it or not, I actually don't make the ultimate decision. The ultimate decision, we do it by committee. But basically, yeah, you got a little personal with that wrench. That's the best way I could put it. You got a little personal with that wrench, and that's why we took the wrench. But look, like I said, I've had to take wrenches from other people who have been arguing. That somebody be having an argument with another person, they be wrenching, they be wrenching people. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, I didn't. I mean, but you see my point. That's what happened. Because I mean, basically, the thing is that if I could roll back the tape, especially when Jim and I was here, we had pretty strict rules. But we didn't pull wrenches for personal shit, and we don't kick out people for personal stuff. You have to do something. You have to do something that is breaking policy, like wrenching somebody, or I call it wrenching, but it's blocking somebody or timing out somebody for making a comment that you just didn't agree with. And especially back then, and even now, our rule is that nobody gets kicked unless they're doing something very, very facetious or vulgar or dangerous. Don't get me wrong. As you can see in the chat, everybody's been quite respectful to you. So, you might disagree or not like what somebody says, but they're not cussing you out or any of that kind of stuff that you see going on other channels. So that's the point I want to make. Welcome to the stage, Darnell. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right. DJ, praise Lord Kevin. I am going to be first pastor of the new Church of Kevin Samuel.
Lord Jesus, Lord Kevin.
Oh, yeah, hopefully God don't strike me down, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, let me play one more clip. Basically, I believe we see this young lady went through a lot, but I want to end on a good note. This is an update for Bridget Harris right here. Here we go.
Hold up. Remember our video on the story of Bridget Harris?
Let me make sure everybody can hear this because it ends this on a good note. Here we go.
Well, she has reached out to our channel with an exciting update on her life.
This is beautiful. Listen to this. Here we go.
Video, we mentioned her volunteer work at Rescuing Leftover Cuisine in New York. Today, she is currently starting her own small business venture as a food truck owner selling Liberian dishes. She has also shared that she's in the works of writing a book, and now she's asking all of us for support in her journey. Please do support and give what you can to her GoFundMe. For more information, feel free to visit her website, Bridget's Kitchen. To reach out directly, I have included her business email as well. Thank you all for supporting Bridget and hearing her story. We look forward to seeing her business successes and wish her much prosperity in this chapter of her life.
That's what you call resilience. Let's give Bridget a huge hand of applause. A huge hand of applause, everybody. That's what you call resilience. So, Darnell, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm enjoying the show. Great topic today. I mean, real sad about Yeah, about that girl's story, that or woman's story that um, you know uh, chopped
I
off
mean,
her father's what, but um, I mean, it's real sad that happened, but that she had to go through all that. I understand why she did what she did. You know, um, and just to say, like in African, I have heard that in some African cultures, it's but it's not like a country thing. It's more like in smaller villages and things like that. You got to remember, in some of these countries, the government's not really in charge. It's like
right.
local elders are in charge. Kind of ran into this in Afghanistan a lot, where the Afghan government really had no power. It was really the local elders really had the power, so they make the rules. So now getting back to Africa, in these cases, uh, there there is a ring of truth to her story that in some um, tribes, you got to remember they're going to be a little more tribal over there than we are. It's not just race or whatever. It's or religion. It's also what tribe you belong to. In some tribes, yes, that is a practice. Um, there's also a practice of female genital mutilation.
Yeah, yeah. That's supposed to be like part of the culture or something like that.
Yep, where a girl turns a certain age, they snip out her clitoris. You know,
Yeah, that's
um,
crazy.
it is. It really is. And then as far as your comment about the that Ozark family, I guess the skin color change. That's actually I forget the name of that disease, but it's actually not weird at all. The Europe ancient, like, or not ancient, but the old European monarch family, they actually suffered from that very same disease. They called them blue blood.
Mhm.
Basically their blood started turning blue, their skin started turning blue, through years. What it was they tried to, it used to be ancient tradition that royalty family believed in keeping the bloodlines pure. So what that meant was inbreeding. In other words, you had to marry royalty. Well, there was only X amount of royalty. Royalty was very rare. So a lot of times they had to marry brother and sister, cousins.
Got it.
That's, yeah, as disgusting as that sounds, but that's what they did to try to keep the bloodline pure. Because they found out, they didn't know it at the time, but as they found out later, um, they ended up causing a lot of issues. One person that suffered from that, famous person that suffered from that condition, was King George III of England. For those of you that don't know King George III, he was the one that when the United States, broke away from Great Britain, he was king at the time. He suffered from that condition. People thought he was going to die as a child. Turned
Mm,
out he lived to be over 8 years old. you know, but
got it.
yeah, he had blue skin as well. So it was actually common, and it was just due to a lot of issues. A lot of misbeliefs in the Middle East. That's still a problem in the Middle East, where royal family members are still practicing inbreeding, but they're starting to do away with it, 'cause now they're starting to have the genetic defects as well. So they're starting to do away with it now.
All right. Okay. So what I would like to do right now is ask everybody if after Bridget's story, what do you think? Do you think she should have been? If you think she should have gone to prison at all, put a two in the chat. If you think, well, no, put a one in the chat if you think that she was okay that she went to prison, or put a two in the chat if you think she should have had a shorter sentence, or three if no sentence. If you can put that in the chat. Also, if you'd like to make an opinion about the Bridget situation or any situation that we've gone over tonight, which let me touch on that for you so we know. We started the show quite painfully, where Kelly Mays, who was an advocate for DV, um, who was deleted by Mr. 8 Mile himself, not not Eminem, but his buddy.
Obi Trice?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, let me play that one more time just so you can see what happened. This is very sad.
Our other top story, we're learning more tonight about an important voice for domestic violence victims that has been silenced.
Yeah, Kelly Mays was a well-known survivor of domestic violence who found her voice helping others suffering through abusive relationships at home. The man accused of killing her is Jimmy Lee Brown. Now, he's a rap artist known as Super MC, who appeared in the movie 8 Mile. Our Sean Lay spoke with Kelly's family and colleagues tonight who are coping with her loss.
We're here at the Westland Police Department.
Okay, I just want to play that part, but that's who it was. So basically, she already had to fight against DV, wins, and then some other dude did it, if you know what I mean. So then we went over the young lady who was literally almost charged and went to jail for a miscarriage. Then Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, got deleted. We went over that. You know that who was it? Free Thug, mistrial, Young Thugs. They tried to get a mistrial for him. So some dude in the courtroom was yelling. And then we went into. Oh, we never went over that. Okay. Oh, of course, King Samuels, Saint Samuels. We went over his manipulation on trying to groom a woman to groom her daughter, to allow men to groom her daughter. I know it sounds weird, but that's what happened.
Well, I mean, he didn't necessarily, say groom. He just said he gave a scenario about what if this scenario had occurred.
Right.
What would you do in this situation?
Exactly.
But he didn't necessarily advocate for grooming an underage girl.
I understand your point of view, but to me, he did, but in an indirect way.
Yeah.
And the reason why mine was more of a situational grooming. And why I bring it up like this is because it seemed like he was really trying hard to make her accept not to believe anything her daughter said.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, little girls don't make up stuff. Okay, they just don't. I mean, they might make up stuff in a minor, because I had two sisters, so so to it seemed like he really put just posing the question was already kind of like, to me, that's weird. You're even bringing it up at all, Kevin. And then the way he tried to defend it, that's why I said it was like, to me, it gives me a vibe of that he was grooming. I call it remote. Let me change that. I call it remote grooming, because he's not doing it directly, right?
Yeah.
But he's putting seeds in somebody's mind to allow a certain level of abuse to happen to their own child, so that she can stay with that man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not have to get it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And not have to go through a divorce.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're going with it. Like, I see your point, actually, to be honest with you. But at the same time, it's one of those things that sometimes, it's like, you say one thing and then somebody misconstrues or interprets your words.
Right.
Like, let's just pretend, for example, and again, this is fantasy land, so everybody in the chat, this is fantasy land. This isn't real, okay? I just want full disclosure or disclaimer out there. But let's say DJ Torch on his channel decided, you know what? ladies, we got to defend ourselves from these black men. So here's what you know, all black men, and again, I'm not accusing you, DJ Schwartz.
Right. I understand. Go ahead.
So this fantasy man, if DJ Schwartz said, okay, ladies, no matter what happens, all black men, when they grow up, they're going to become bad. They're going to unalive black women. They're going to become destructive to black women. Something should be done about it. Now, you didn't say necessarily, kill I apologize, unalive black babies or black male babies, or, go out and start unaliving, black male boys. But there might be somebody out there that's listening and they interpret it as that.
Right.
Would that be your fault?
Geez, that's a good point. I mean, really, quite honestly, I wouldn't care. I can't afford to care. But no. So if it depends, if I mean, to me, it's like this. People purposely misinterpret me. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they misinterpret the channel altogether. Like the example I was making about how it's okay for them to call when I go to their channels and they're cussing me out left and right in their chat. It even happens on, and you've seen it. It even happens on Razor's channel, right? They cuss me out, but then they want to say they're getting treated wrong when they come here. And you've seen and my point was that how I would avoid that situation that you just said is like, well, let me take a screenshot of my channel and take a screenshot of your channel when I'm on your channel, right? And let's compare them and let's see who wins the vitriol war, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put this, I'll put this channel against anybody.
Yeah.
And we will lose the vitriol war, which means we are less rude here. Okay. Yeah. They may not like the reality we express. Like a lot of times they're coming here and they'll say, well, wow, you guys really think that, black men are like this and black men are like that. And they'll go, yeah. And and it brings out kind of a disappointment / anger in a lot of the people who come here. It's like, look, do you want us to be real or not? So while I go to other spots and they pretty much cuss me out with fictional words, let's just call it that, right?
Yeah.
They're getting reality here. They're getting what they are scared of. What the men are scared of about this channel is they're getting the truth on exactly how good women, and I mean good women, feel about them. And that they know that's the fact. They know that these women are well-to-do, well-off, stable, gorgeous, all of that. And they're being told something they don't want to hear from a women like that. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear a good woman that they know is a good woman, okay, saying, you're not up to snuff. You guys aren't up to snuff. They don't want to hear that. So it really it hurts the men's feelings. And instead of saying, something, they got a point. You know what they do? The men go further into proving the women right. And they start,
that's common. That's common.
They go into the vulgarity, the bad behavior, and it's like, oh, well, next, if you know what I mean. Welcome, Rat Girl. Rat Girl in the house.
Yeah. The only thing is, like I said, to me, there's a ring of truth to all sides that I have noticed. Like, yesterday, Ellen had said, okay, well, I noticed you're in these other spaces as well. She's talking about me. That I'm in these other spaces as well. I'm like, yeah, I've made it no secret. I'm in these other spaces, and like I said, I'm just learning and observing. You know,
Right.
and there's a lot of Ring of Truth. There's a Ring of Truth to the Passport Bros. There's a Ring of Truth to the Red Pill guys. There's a Ring of Truth to BW. There's a Ring of Truth to just about every group. I mean, otherwise, none of these groups would. If there wasn't a Ring of Truth, then none of these groups would exist.
That's not true.
One.
That's not true.
Okay. What group?
I mean, wait. Let me put it like this. I disagree. I'm not going to say that's not true. The reason why is this: is that there's a lot of. I mean, it's like this. I understand what you're saying. It's almost like in the Matrix where they had to make it believable or by flying it a little bit. But no, I've seen people literally, how should I say, tell falsities daily. And there might be an element of truth. I'll go as that far. Maybe not a ring, but an element of truth. Yes, but they can run a channel on a pure falsity. When Kevin's channel was really run on the falsity that men are superior and women are not, and women are supposed to follow exactly what a man does, no matter how, even though he had from time to time, he would drop some, believe it or not, from time to time, Kevin would drop a clip here and there about men, you need to do this and do that. Like he had one clip about how men are supposed to pay for everything, but that went over most of the dudes' heads. They ignored that shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, of course.
Because these are the same guys that were listening to Kevin Samuels, and even when Kevin Samuels said that, they were still on the bus when it said, when what's his name, Tyler Perry came out with the light bill theory. You remember?
Yep.
So I understand what you're saying. You're saying that, I guess what you're saying and your point, and what would be accurate, is that there's still some sort of truth to what they're saying. They're just bending it in a way to fit their narrative.
Yeah, bending it, and again, some followers. Again, you're always going to have, no matter what group you are, and eventually, if you continue to grow, you're going to start getting some crazy followers yourself. You know, it's called groupthink syndrome. A group starts becoming too big, and you get infiltrators. You get the wrong. You get one person with wrong intentions, and they spread like a cancer. You know, throughout the group. You know, people that are normally, you know, you'll have people that are normal. I mean, i.e., just think of the you know, I hate to forgive me for bringing politics in it, but you know, President Trump supporters. Not every President Trump supporter is a lunatic. But
no, I would say that. Yeah. Well, believe it or not, I mean, well, yes, they're. Yeah, I won't say they're a lunatic, but they have the elements of lunacy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a huge element of lunacy. Like, you know, when they January 6th, when they tried to take the Capitol. You know, that, I mean, if anything, that was definitely lunacy. I mean, you can't call it anything but. And then they were wondering, why am I going to jail? Why am I being persecuted? And I don't understand. You know, the election was a fraud, and you know, and it just didn't dawn on them that, you know, you were sold a sack of lies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I mean, let me bring it in for 1 second here. Here's one thing that gets me. It's like obviously what it is, the whole black manosphere, it sounds like this. Now, even though they could be actually truly building and they're not, let's get that out of the way. Their goal is basically to either coerce or convince women to trust them, because trust is the only way that women are going to submit. Do you see my point? Either that or slavery, or straight slavery. But so they want women to trust them, but they don't do anything to give women a reason to trust them. It's like they think they can do the SBE or whatever you want to call it, right? And you know that better than me. They want to do all the SBE stuff, right? And expect that that's going to manipulate women to trust them, instead of maybe just becoming more trustworthy men. See, that's the weird part. That's what I don't get.
like the thing is like you. Oh, I'm sorry. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to play this last clip real quick. I wanted to just jump into this real quick. Only a few minutes, and then we'll get back to chatting. Here we go.
Children in our communities globally needs to be protected. And
Oh, wait. I think we went over this. Did we go over this? If I already went over this clip, put a 1 in the chat. If I didn't, put a 2 in the chat. I'll wait. I think we went over this. I'm not sure, but I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything.
I know it's the same person, but I don't know if it's the point that you're trying
Okay,
to
we
make.
did it. So yes, we don't have to go over it. So anyway, what were you going? I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
So, what I was gonna say, like when you watch shows such as like Fresh and Fit, for example, one of the two characters of Fresh and Fit, Fit or Myron Gaines, he goes by Myron Gaines. He mentions, and there was one particular episode I remember watching, that there was one clip, where he just goes in on men hard. He's like, look, you can't sit in your mommy's basement all day playing video games, smoking weed, and expect to get, I'm not going to use the exact verbiage that he used on your show, but a bad beat. You can't get a bad beat, and expect to get, I'm going to get a bad beat, and women should just expect.
But see, that's the problem I have right there, is that's what these men are looking for. They're looking for a bad B and not a good woman.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's basically their problem. A bad B, it's supposed to be exactly who she is. I mean, I understand there's a positive connotation to that word. I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that a lot of these men, they are not realistic, and they are not in control of their own emotions. They have to understand that you have to have a driver's license to drive a car.
Right.
And the problem is you can't drive a car if you keep putting it into the parking lot, and you're rolling all over the street because you can't control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. A lot of the men that are not ready for a relationship think they're ready for a relationship.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Oh yeah, that's a huge issue, especially if you're a man in your early 20s. I mean, that's a big problem. Yeah. Huge.
Exactly.
I mean, I would say 9 out of 10, if not more, are probably not ready for a relationship. If you're, and I'm speaking of a man in his early 20s. You got to go out. You got to, first you got to get out there. You got to first build first. I mean, not to, sound like I'm getting too much on the feminine side here, but or the woman's side, I should say, not feminist, but the woman's side here. But I'm going to play devil's advocate and get on the woman's side. Again, if a woman is going to want to submit, feel comfortable, not have to, be in the workplace and be comfortable, during her, let's call it nesting period, of giving birth, you're going to have resources. You can't just get out there, expect this woman, okay, I got to pay half the bills, you got to pay half the bills, and I expect you to be submissive. I expect dinner on the table. I expect the dishes, house cleaning, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, well, wait a minute. Where does she have the time to be feminine? Because, especially if she has to be out there in the workplace to help you pay half the bill. She ain't got time.
You want to know a secret? You know how I make my women, submissive? You know how I do that?
How's that?
Just be good to them.
Well,
wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
Most people respond to not only you, but the environment you put them in. If you make a person comfortable and they feel comfortable and truly, really loved, and not something they're making up in their head, and you're peaceful, if you are with the right person, they're naturally going to be they would you would say submissive. I don't call it submissive. I just call it just comfortable and loving. You see what I'm saying? Submission,
Yeah,
submission to
I hate
me, I never liked the word.
I
But
don't either. I hate that word. I prefer the term cooperative or partner. Yeah.
right. I mean, yeah. Or yeah, I mean the thing is it's almost like how apartment, or better even yet, I like teammate better. You see what I'm saying? Teammate, you know. Somebody, because that's somebody you both have the same goal. You
Mhm.
see what I'm saying? You can argue with a partner, but usually you don't argue with a teammate. Now, in a
Yeah.
relationship, obviously, for me, that's a man and a woman, but there's many options, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Uh,
because yeah, I mean, how many times have you? I'm not saying that partner's a bad word. It's not, but it can be misconstrued because you don't necessarily have to be in a positive relationship with a partner. You see what I'm saying?
mhm.
But
Yeah. It could be just a beneficial relationship. Just okay, we tolerate each other for survival kind of thing.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Okay. So yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, we can use your word teammate. Hey, you're my teammate. You know, but the thing
Oh,
is like, okay,
yeah, and I would say helpmate, but the red pills already kind of corrupted that word. Helpmate,
okay,
yeah, teammate sounds better. The reason that why teammate sounds better is because both of you are working together for a common goal. A helpmate just might be another word for slave.
hmm
You know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not feeling the cooperation things either. Miss RV
No,
is
I mean,
not, go
I
ahead.
just say I just use the term cooperative as okay. Like you're not, um, like you're not, I don't want to use the term enemy, but what would you call it? Somebody that's just it's like they're offering resistance. You're trying to do something and you got that person that's
Well,
just offering
the
resistance.
problem with cooperation, there's really no emotion in that word.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. I mean, as you know, I'm not exactly. Again, I'm not a Bill Clinton or a Ronald Reagan. If I don't have the gift of speech, like
Oh,
you
no
know,
problem. No problem. You
yeah,
don't want, I don't want to have there's some gifts you don't want from those guys anyway. So, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I know. Matter of fact, I need to stop using. I don't know if you heard recently off subject, but
Yeah, you might
about Bill
want to
Clinton.
leave those out.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. So where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah. It's one of those things that okay, like when I have a hard day at work, like we all know in the workplace, not every job, in fact, very rarely are you going to have a job where you have this perfect work environment where you get along with everybody. There's going to be a coworker you don't like. There's going to be a
Right.
supervisor you don't like. There's going to be somebody trying to get you fired, or you're going to be dealing with a customer that's just
Right. But let me pause you right there. But that's the problem with cooperating. You
yeah,
have to cooperate at work because you have to go to work.
yeah,
But you shouldn't have to cooperate with somebody you're with because that you're supposed to the best, and this is another thing that a lot of people miss is they go for visuals so much they don't find a soulmate. You see what I'm
hmm
saying? You don't find somebody that clicks. There was that word
yeah,
that click that you click with that just when you it's almost like the left arm and the right arm. You just click and you just, oh yeah, you're hungry. Oh yeah, I'm hungry. Let's go eat. You see what I'm saying?
mhm,
Or like somebody you can confide in. You see what I'm saying? That type of person. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. But let's
And
say again, you're the average wage slave at work. You probably deal with a little bit of abuse at work. You come home and your partner. And again, I'm speaking not just from the man's point of view, but women. Women, a lot of y'all, 40% of y'all are now head of the household now. So it's one of those things. It's getting 50-50 almost, to where women, you're head of the house. So I want you to just put yourself in the shoes of a person that takes abuse on the job, you know, from coworkers and supervisors, customers, etc. Then you come home and you got a partner or a teammate at the house that is not, you know, cooperative, that seems to be against you, that seems to be, you know, is unhappy with,
Well,
you know, what you're
that's my point, though. That's my point. If you come home to somebody who's like that, then
Mhm.
maybe they're not the person for you.
Yeah. I mean,
Because,
that's true too.
and the reason why I think that might happen on a lot, I'm not saying your scenario doesn't happen, because it obviously does. But what I'm saying is that they didn't, that's called choosing better, is where she might look hot, right? But she's not clicking with you. You see what I'm saying? And a
Yeah.
lot of men are visual. I mean, think about it. There's no way they can beat, there's no way anyone can beat this statement of men being visual, or even I'll go as far as saying too visual, because what did they do on Kevin Samuel's show? They rated women by looks first.
Mhm. Yeah.
There you go. The relationship's already on the downslope right there. Now you got to get straight up lucky and hope that hot woman you chose because she was hot, because you were going to get shamed if she was just average at best, right? Is going to mesh with you. And that's what was so damaging about Kevin Samuel's show, other than him wanting to push women into accepting abuse, is that they used literally they gave men the opposite advice of what they needed. The scale from 1 to 10 for looks should have not been there. So it should have been scale 1 to 10. The scale of 1 to 10 should have been for compatibility, not looks. Now, if you want to mix in looks later, that's fine, but they made it on top of the list.
Yeah.
That is one of the most shallow things you can think of. And Kevin Samuels, that's what he sold.
I mean, that's true too, but like at the same time, like with the emergence of TikTok, I don't have a TikTok account, but I do watch O'Shea Duke Jackson, Mediocre Tutorial, and
MTR. Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes they'll play clips from these TikToks from women, and women, I found out, are just as shallow. When you look in the meat and potatoes.
That's okay. I can help you out here. I can help you out a lot here. First, I'd like to shout out for Chaos Rain Show in the house. That is the problem. I call it. You know what percentage of the women that are represented on these red pill shows actually exist?
The percentage
of the hottie, the shallow hottie who's showing her, who's kind of taking side shots of herself and all that kind of stuff. What do you think the percentage is of those women?
98, maybe even as high as 99%.
You think the percentage of women
that are being shown on the show, right? On the red pill
I mean, no, not on the show. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's what they show on the show, right? What percentage of that is in the general population of women?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize for my misunderstanding.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
In the general population, I would have to guess, but I would say it's maybe about 1/3, and that might be even high.
I would say, I would say it's a little bit high. I would say it's more like 10%.
Okay.
10%. And again, New Diamond is right. They find us boring. They find us boring. What happens is that men, you look at the women they choose for these shows, and For the most part, most of them are very good looking, but they know they're very good looking and they act like they know they're very good looking, if you know what I mean, right?
Mhm.
The shows do that by design.
Mhm.
If you notice, they don't have no PhD on them shows, do they?
Well, Fresh and Fit have had a few PhDs.
Well, actually, yeah, they did have. They had Princella on there. So I mean,
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, she was on that show. I forgot
yeah,
about that.
she roasted the heck out of them, but still, I mean, but yeah, you see my point. But it's not like that's who they base their show on.
Right.
So,
but even with one of the things I noticed with social media, and I kind of alluded to this yesterday with my with my sister and her diet, for example. I think it's Indiana Mom she was on, and she was like, avoid, these fat or like diet pills, tell her to avoid these diet pills and things like that. And but the problem is, and because I've actually tried to talk to her about that, like she does this crazy. And Indiana Mom actually explained it pretty good. My sister did these crazy fad diets. She's listening to these people on YouTube. There's some guy on YouTube. She sent me the video. There's some guy on YouTube. I don't even want to. I don't even want to say what it is because.
Wait, let me pause you right now. By the way, I did chop off the tail end of the live stream yesterday, but I'm going to reopen. I'm going to take that piece where you guys were all talking about different stuff on a separate video, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Hey, the reason I'm doing that is because we were way off topic. So at the end, but
that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault.
Yeah. It was, that was brought to my attention. It made a lot of sense to me that it should be a separate part. So what I did, I got some very good advice by somebody, but that told me that that probably wasn't appropriate, and it probably wasn't. But no, it'll make a good separate video. It just wasn't fitting the theme for yesterday. But I just wanted to let you know. So it's like, hey, look, where am I at? That actually you're still on there, but everybody's still on there. It's just there's a certain section that was cut out.
Oh,
But,
yes, I'm aware of that section probably, and yeah, I don't blame you for editing that out, moving it, and I don't blame you at all. But yeah, so I think I left off. Okay, so my sister with her diet, she's following this YouTuber. I don't encourage this diet. If you have daughters, don't encourage this diet, but it is unfortunately a growing trend where you got these. I mean, well, it's everywhere. It's not just dieting, but in this case, for her, it was dieting where there's this guy that teaches people to fast like 2 or 3 weeks. Basically, you don't eat anything for 2 or 3 weeks.
No, that's not healthy.
That's what I was telling her, but she doesn't believe me. Oh, this guy does it. He's on YouTube. She sent me the videos. And
Oh, okay. I mean, the thing is this is that I would have to see it because I bet there's some wrinkle to it. There's some wrinkle to it. It's not just. I know there's a more like when they're telling you to fast. It might be some type of. I'd have to see it. Send me the video. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, she's wrong, and then find out, oh shit, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? So let me,
The only problem that I see, and it kind of shows because one, she's not. I talk with my mom all the time. She's not,
okay. Wait. Look, I got to stop us again because we're getting off. We're way off subject.
I'm just making a really quick point. I promise I'll segue right back.
Okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay. So I said she's not losing any weight, and what's going on is that she starts binge eating. So whatever good that she didn't do
goes
she
away.
Just goes back to,
Right.
Exactly, goes to eating junk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I see that in the. So allow me to segue back. I see that in the YouTube space when it comes to dating, and it's on both sides. But one of the things that I have seen on the manosphere.
Okay, but I got to stop us because we're way. I mean, We were talking
Oh.
about protection for women. So anyway,
Oh,
yeah, that's how far off we are. But
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it's about time for us to stack it up anyway. If you like the show, feel free to put either an applause or a one in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and hit the beat. I think we had a pretty good live today. I think the producers did an amazing job on setting it together. Please give the producers a hand of applause. It wasn't just me. They were doing their thing. Well, welcome, Eat, Pray, Yoga. It's good seeing you too. And I think it's time for me to hit that beat, everybody. Thank you. Please give the producers a hand of applause. They worked harder on this than I did. That's how much work they put in. I need to make sure they get their flowers. And this is DJ Torch. I hope everyone learned a lot. Here we go. I'm hitting that beat. Here we go. All right, here we go. In the house, my old pal, Quita Ward. New Diamond, Mistress Newbie. Phoenix Soul. Phoenix Soul, thank you for the advice. Eat, Pray, Yoga. Susie Bear.
No need to say. We'll be heading there.
Chaos Rain Show.
I follow
El Viero West. Miss RV.
So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find a better one.
Mistress Newbie.
Susceptible.
Why is seeking knowledge? Big Cap, the Rock Girl. Feisty Black Tina.
It's not a problem.
K Brown.
'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me.
E Melanin.
You and I realize.
Break it down, break it down.
Either way, I follow. No need to say. We'll be
Darnell Elliott.
I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night.
Muscular and Hustler.
Find a better one. Yeah.
Kevin, the lifestyle guy.
Before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night.
May is Fat Albert's sister. Everybody. All right, everybody. This is DJ Torch. I'd like to welcome and thank everybody for coming out tonight. I hope everyone joins us for our next live. Stay cool, be cool.